That'll be super helpful. Um, Give me 1 second because what I want to do is just break this down, like really break this down. And I should have had it up, but guess what? I did it. My fault. Is it right here? Yes, it is. Beautiful. All right. So what I want to do, I want to jump over here real quick. Um, so we're going to go to our whiteboard. So what is an option contract? An option contract is like a ticket that gives us the right but not the obligation to buy or sell a stock at a specific price. So what is that specific price? That specific price could be our strike price. The strike price is the price that we think that the option will be at the expiration date, right? So before a certain date, that's the expiration date. Now, because we're using 0 DTE, right? This equals same day options, right? Options that expire on the same day, just to be a lot more redundant, right? So these are the option contracts that we're going to use. So for an option contract, you got to remember we don't own the stock yet, right? We own the choice to either buy or sell it later, depending on how the market goes. So let's break this down a little bit further. So imagine we have a concert ticket that's $100. Even if the ticket resale price jumps to 300, we still have the $100 ticket. So what would you do at this point? Would you profit the $200, or would you still cash it in and be like, all right, I still want to go see this concert? But for me, I'm just gonna cash out. Let me just make my 200. I can catch it on YouTube, right? So let's break this down. The ticket is the option contract. The concert date is the option expiration date. The ticket price is the premium that you paid. And then the concert seat is the stock. That's the asset that we're going to buy and sell. So an option isn't control, right? Excuse me. It isn't ownership, it's control. We're paying for the right to choose what we'll do later based on how the market moves, right? So one option contract equals 100 shares. We're doing forgot this is down here. We're doing 0 DTE, so 0 days to expiration, meaning that these are options that expire the same day option contracts, right? So there's two type of options that we're going to be using. We're going to be using a call option. A call option, we think we're bullish on the market, right? We think that the market or the price might go up. So this is the right to buy a stock at a set price. What is that set price? Your strike price, because we think that the market might go up. So if we buy a call option, excuse me, I didn't want to cough in here. So if we buy a call option, right, we're bullish on the market. What do bulls have? Bulls have horns, right? What do those horns do? Point up. So if we're bullish on the market, we think that the price might go up, right? So when the stock price goes up, call options go up generally, right? So a put option is the right to sell a stock at a set price because we think that the price might go down, right? So when we buy a put option, we're bearish on the market. Normally bears have their paws what? Down, right? Or bear down, right? So we think that the price might go down. So if somebody says they're bearish on the market, right? They think that the market or the price might go down. Now, generally speaking, when the stock price goes down, put options go up, right? So let's talk a little bit about volatility and implied volatility. So volatility equals what the market is currently doing right now, not in the future, right? And the way that we measure volatility is using one of two things. So we can either use VIX, and VIX is a volatility index, right? So VIX allows us to be able to gauge, all right, how volatile is the market right now. So VIX range is from zero, no, let's do from 10 to 16, right? We're at a calm market. So VIX isn't expecting anything big to happen. From 16 till about 22, 23, we're elevated. So the market is expecting something big to happen. Anything from 25 up for me, right? Everybody has a different school of thought for this, right? But for me, 25 and higher lets me know that's an elevated VIX, right? So volatile. The market is expecting a big action to happen either on a bearish or bullish side. So right now with VIX being at 1634, so we're a bit calm, right? Not that much low, not elevated. So we aren't expecting anything crazy to happen. So this is our real-time volatility index that we're able to use in order to gauge how wild the market is right now. right? So we can use VIX or we can use VXN. Let's just use VIX for right now. All right. So let's go back here. Beautiful. Implied volatility. This is what the market, what the market expects, the market to be doing in the future, usually in the next 30 days. That doesn't make sense. What the, what, So implied volatility is what the market expects to happen, usually within the next 30 days. Sorry about that. Just had a real time. I don't know why I didn't catch that before. Excuse me. Right? So high IV equals expensive contracts because the market expects a big move, usually within the next 30 days. Low IV are affordable contracts because the market is calm, it's stable, and we're not expecting a big move to happen. All right, perfect. So if you do have any other questions, please let me know. So I'm just going to keep like running through this real quick. Then I'm going to go back to our strategy. I want us to be able to build context as far as what is an option, what is call, what is a put, right? Because I wanted to say a lot of these terms, so I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So I want to talk about moneyness. When trading moneyness, this tells you how the option price compares to the current price. So here's an example. So when I say ITM, that's in the money. OTM, that's out the money. ATM is at the money, right? So right now we're looking at SPY. SPY is the S&P 500. This is the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange, right? So let's say SPY's current price right now is, it was right there. SPY's current price right now is $4.99. Let me zoom this in. You should be able to see, but just to make sure. All right, perfect. So SPY, the S&P 500, the top 500 companies within the New York Stock Exchange, their current price right now is $4.99. Right? So if we were to buy a call option with a strike price of 501, we're currently out the money. Now, again, everybody has a different school of thought, but for me, out the money is considered 2 or more levels up. So what do I mean by that? The current price is 499. If I go to, 498. If I go to 499, that's still in the money because I'm 1 level, right? For 500, still in the money, right? So 2 or more levels. So once we get to 501, that's currently out the money, right? Because we have to move $3, right, in order for SPY to go from 498 to 501, right? And the same thing happens for the puts, right? So if we're about a put of 495, this is currently out the money, right? So in order for the out the money contracts to be able to make money, we want the current price to either drop down to 495 if we're buying a put, or we want it to go up to 501, right? The closer that it gets to our strike price, the more money that we make, right? So that is moneyness, right? So when we're talking about out the money, it's further away from the current price. In the money, it's closer to the current price, right? And the money contracts plus high IV equals a lot more expensive, or in the money contracts in general are going to be a lot more expensive because they're a lot closer to the current price. So there's not a lot of movement that's needed in order for it to move, in order for you to be able to get profitable on it. All right, we got it, Gucci. Now let's go back to our strategy. So what we've developed is a 0 DTE strategy in order to trade XSP. XSP is the mini SPY. So it is a mini version of the S&P 500 that enables us to be able to trade it, right? Whether we think it's going to go up or down. So how do we build this strategy? Where the foundation came from? The foundation came from a TradingView Pine script called the Best Super Trend Moving Average by David, right? It explains the two cores was a fast moving average and a slow moving average, right? And I talked about this in the previous video. And if you check out the comments, I really go into how that works. But for right now, I'm just going to like quickly go over it, right? So right now we ended. So here's the actual back test, right? Let me just quickly go over the steps, right? And then step 2, we selected the parameters. So again, I really went into this in step 2 and step 1 of the video. So if you really want to understand how we got here, please make sure you go watch that video here. I'm just going to do a high level so we can really get into development of the actual bot. So I don't want to spend too much time to be able to go through this. So if you do have questions, let me know. So I'm going to be super quick on being able to do this because I think we have 40, I'm not going to say 40, 45 steps, right, that we've done in order to get to the strategy where we at right now. So step 1, the initial strategy discussion. Step 2 was the parameter selection on the 1-minute data. Step 3 was the session and the trade rules. Step 4, the exit rules. Step 5, position sizing. Step 6 was the option selection, right? Step 7 is how we selected the strike price. Now remember what the strike price is. This is the price that we think that the option contract will be at expiration, right? Step 8, making the back test, referencing the back test review. Step 9, actually making the back test. So now let's go review the back test real quick, right? So this is the back test. So our strategy, this is where it started. This is not where it's at. Where it's at, it's right here. So what our strategy is doing is we're saying, let me just bring this over so I can really explain this. We're looking at the last 12 minutes of data, right? So I'm looking at XSP, mini spy, bruh. Mini spy on TradingView, and then I'm looking at the 1-minute chart. So what our strategy has done is we're saying that we're going back 12 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So we have 2 moving averages. Our first moving average is going to call our fast moving average. It looks at the first 2 candles, right? And then we have our slow moving average. Our slow moving average looks at the entire 12 periods, right? So what our strategy says is if the first moving average, which is the fast, goes above, right, the second moving average, then we have a call position. We're bullish on the market. We think that the market is going to go up. We also have a super trend confirmation, right? So what this super trend confirmation is saying is that, okay, you're saying that the market is going to go up. You have a momentum trigger, right? But I need us to be able to make sure the trend is the same direction. So the super trend confirmation is letting us know, okay, is it a bearish market? Is it a bullish market? And this is the way that it does it is looking at the, not, okay, I've changed it. If you want to, let's actually go down. Let's look at it real quick. So this strategy only trades between 9:30, 9:33 a.m. and it stops trading at 11:28. What we added before, which I'm super excited about, is our smart trading, quote unquote, right? So the smart trading allows up to 2 trades per day, but the way that it works, you have to win the first trade. So if it wins the first trade, it can get the second trade. So I'm super excited to let y'all see the results and how that went. So the moving average period, remember we talked about that. The first one is, this is our fast MA, this is our slow MA, so 212. And then the super trend factor, again, it builds a band around the price for the last 3 minutes. And then we have our, this is another item that we added during part 2, right? This is the moving average separation filter. So this is the minimum distance between the moving averages for a valid signal. So in order for it to be able to be a valid signal, it just doesn't need to cross over. The trend just doesn't need to confirm, right? But we need to make sure that there's a gap, right, of at least 0.28% in order for it to qualify as a good signal. Yes, this little percentage here is a edge, right? It's a game changer. I'm not going to hold you. It allow us to be able to go from a strategy that was just barely making money, right, to a strategy that's like completely dominating. So what I want to do, I feel like I'm talking too much. So what I want to do, what we also added is this regime filter. We want to be able to make sure that when it's a choppy market, we're not trading. But when it's a bullish market, we only allow calls. When it's a bearish market, we only allow puts. So that's what this regime filter is doing. I tried And then part two, we tried this weighted loss severity program. That shit was a fail. So sometimes you're going to try ideas and it's not going to work out. So this is one that we tried, but it didn't work out. So we're going to use false here. This is our exit rules. We're only holding a maximum of 3 minutes. Our stop loss is 12%. So what that means is that if the position at any time is losing 12%, get us out the position. And if we're up 25, 18, or 14, get me out the position, the trading costs, so on and so forth. So right now, let's double check that it's on 2022. All right, the strategy is on 2022, right? So I'm ready to run the back test on 2022. So what I want to do, all right, beautiful, Python, mixtape, bt.py. Wait, Python, mix, tape. Oh, I got to spell tape right. bt.py. And all of it's written in Python. So I'm now going to run the back test on 2022. All of our, I forgot, I don't think I said it, but just in case I didn't, this is not financial advice. If you do seek financial advice, please make sure you talk to a certified financial planner, a financial advisor, or those that are licensed in order to assist you. This is merely educational. Beautiful. So all of our strategies start with $100, right? Because I want to be able to dispel the notion that you need thousands of dollars in order to trade options, especially when it comes to algo trading. If you do it well, your strategy could take over for you, right? So all of our strategies, unless told otherwise, remember, starting, I just want to say real quick, starting at $100, right? So let's see where the strategy goes. So you see how explosive it was. It went from $100, now it's at 800. Now it just crossed 1,000. This is 2022 now. 2022 is the infamous bear year. Strategies are not supposed to survive in 2022, but our strategy is thriving in 2022. So you just see how it went from 1,000 to 3,000 in a blink of an eye. It's at 4,000 right now. So let's look at the metrics real quick. So I split it up, the first half and the second half. The first half of the year, the Sharpe ratio is 0.79, so that's not that bad. Max drawdown is under 10%. We have an 83% win rate, so that's not that bad. Best trade was 386. Worst trade was 145. The profit factor is 876, right? So what that means is that for every $1 we're losing, we're making $8. Average hold time is under 2 minutes, and average return is 20%. So let's see how it does on the back half of the year. So on the first half, it was able to go from 100 to $4,000, right? Now let's see how it performs on the back half of the year. And this is 2022. 2022, infamous bear year. 2022, barely any strategy can survive if you're not doing it well, right? 2022, a lot of turmoil, right? We're just coming out of COVID. We're going into inflation, right? We're thinking about, all right, are we going to cut? Are we not going to cut? Right? So there's a lot going on economically, and for our strategy to be able to survive, not just survive, but thrive, right? And you see it doesn't trade every day. We're very selective on the signals that's triggered, and it goes from $100 and is damn near about to cross. So it went from $100 to 12,000 in the last 6 months of the year. 105 trades, days with no signals 25, right? Our days, days with no valid signals with 13, right? The Sharpe ratio is a little bit less. Yes, drawdown is a little bit higher. Right? Not going to hold you. 105 trades, but look at the trade-off. You have an 81% win rate. Best trade was $842. Worst trade, even if you double it, can't touch the best trade. Worst trade was 164. Average trade was 119. Average hold time under 2 minutes. Average return was 23%. Profit factor, you saw the profit factor before was 897, right? Or 879, right? This profit factor is 11.5. So for every dollar that we're losing, we're making $11 back. So I think that's phenomenal. I'm not going to hold you. At this point, this strategy is ready for us to be able to create a bot, right? We already noted everything that it's ready to go. So the way that I create our bots, I'm going to be using Claude Code, and I'm going to be using the Opus 4.5 model in order to do it. So let me go ahead and open that up. And what I want to do, so let's review our current bots right now. So I have 20 zero DTE bots that we already created. Most of it here, if not on YouTube, on Twitch, but all the content is here, right? So for this particular bot, you saw us go from the start of it and now to actually making the bot. So part 1 and 2, again, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but part 1 and 2 is in the comments if you want to check that out. So here's our 20 bots. Each one is different, right? So let me just quickly go through them. So I have a Fade Bear, a Trade Spy, Mini Bear, Trade Spy, Momo, QQQ, Lotto, Spy, Sniper, QQQ, Bel Air, Spy, Spy Baby, Spy. So as you can see, there's 20 of them. I don't feel like I want to go through all of them, but nonetheless, what we're going to be doing is using this BART architecture guide. This is something that I created after like creating so many bots. I was like, all right, there has to be an easier way for us to be able to create a bot. So I made this guide in a sense in order for us to be able to like reproduce bots, right? So this bot is going to be trading on Tradier. I'm going to be using Tradier. And in addition to that, this bot is going to be pulling in its data from theta data in order for the option data. We're going to be using Alpaca for the stock data, right? And for the actual execution of the orders, we're going to be using Tradier. All right, beautiful. So what I want to do is I'm using Claude Code in order to assist us to do this. So what I want to do is start with simple question. To set context, what do you know about Algo? Option Algo trading bots without looking at our code base. All right, beautiful. Option Algo trading bots are automated systems that execute option strategies based on predefined rules. The key aspects are the some common strategies, critical features, key concepts, bot needs, risk management. Bet. Using grep and awk terminal commands, review the following guide and then explain to us like we're 12 so we can start the discussion on developing our next algo bot. So what I need to do, I forgot. This is, I'm just gonna put SPX so just make it easy to be able to know. You already did 2020, just to make sure. Let me just check. Yeah, you already have it. Beautiful. And then I can remove you. I can take you. This is how we're going to build our bot. So perfect. I need to put that data right here. Beautiful. Right now, I'm just building context with Claude Code, right? Before we even start building the bot, because I already have what's needed in order to create the bot. I shared that. I shared the guide. Remember this guide? I shared this guide with Claude Code. Now what it's doing is reviewing it. And before we get started, all right, beautiful. Here's the output. Imagine you want to build a video game character that plays the stock market for you. Here's how the system works: the basic recipe, the bot, the settings, the scoreboard. 3 different brokers. We have Alpaca, Fast Trades. Most bots, 10 bots use it. PlayStation, PlayStation. We have Tradier, like Nintendo. IBKR, I'm trying to get rid of it and move from IBKR. I really want to move to Thinkorswim. So I submitted an application for that, and it's pending approval. So hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be able to have Thinkorswim up. And I'm super excited to be able to move our IBKR bots from Thinkorswim because it crashes too much. So this is how the bot works. It wakes up, it connects to the broker, it looks around, it checks the VIX. We talked about VIX, the fear level. It gets the stock prices, it spots the opportunity, it spy breaking out up or down, it picks an option, buy it, place an order, wait for the order to fill. And all this is automated, right? So this happens from step to 1. All we have to do is be able to write the bot code, right? So all this happens automated, and we just talk about it, right? So before we do that, we want you to review the following files. So we have our Tradier files. So it makes it super easy to not get anything confused. For Tradier, we are going to be building this bot with this broker. Make sure you understand it using grep and awk, and ensure if any questions, grep and awk, and explain to us using only 428 total tokens for output response. Beautiful. So I was going to review that. Let me check how much space I have. Yeah, I have more than enough. All right, beautiful. I love it. Oh crap, my fault. My fault. That's what happens when I try to do two things at once. Our strategy's working, fam. All right, beautiful. Hold on, I'm just finishing up. All right, perfect. All right, Tradier, rate limit, sandbox. Okay, perfect. Add Greeks. Streaming is available, but I'm not using that. Pros all in one. All right. Now, who do I want to use as a reference real quick? Okay, free. I should have made True Lies, Easy Reader. Which one do I really like? Let me do Easy Reader. Easy Reader is fine. Let me go grab our Easy Reader bot. It's right here. And then I want Cloud Code to be able to review it, make sure it really understands the architecture before I bring in our new bot over. So also now review a reference bot, another bot that we have that uses Tradier for more context. Make sure to review using grep and awk, and same guidelines apply. All right, beautiful. You know what I need to do? I need to make our change log, SPX. Let me make our change log. Beautiful. And then we'll also need a trading journal.md. Beautiful. Whenever we change anything to the bot, it's going to be updated here. The journal, we're going to put our performances for our paper test and live testing here. Whenever we change anything for the bot, we're going to put it here. So I can close that out. Beautiful. And then, you know what? Just to be able just to really hone in on this, I want to give it. Okay. Oh, my fault. And lastly, I want to give it because we're getting also are getting our data from Tasty Trades. All right, beautiful. All right. Now, one more item. Need you to review the following before we get into discussing the bot using grep and awk, and same guidelines when explaining. Like I'm being real diligent on making sure that I'm not leaving no stones unturned, and it actually understands everything that we need. And then now we have our bot that is going to be ready for discussion, which is right here. Oh, my fault, my fault, my fault, my fault. Here we go. Here we go. And if y'all do, if there's any questions, all right, beautiful. Post session return. Okay. Live trading, order execution. Okay. Wait. So just for reference, data does have live data. Review. Damn, just because it said that now using grep and awk and make sure you properly understand it before we proceed. All right, because I thought, but that little comment right there, and I need to update it because it has some inaccurate information in there, which I'm going to update. All right. Perfect. We're almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Correct. Beautiful. Correction. Yeah, it does. I told you. All right. Beautiful. Now, using grep and awk terminal commands, review the following backtest files and .md files to discuss the strategy behind the next bot we're building. Use grep and awk so the system doesn't spaz. All right, perfect. Beautiful. So it's going to go through all the versions. It's going to know everything that we've done, how we got to that point, why we got to that point. And that's why I wanted it. So when it comes to being able to create the bot, like there's no questions. All right, beautiful. So what it's doing right now, it's running a series of terminal commands, right? In order to understand the data. And once it understands the data, we'll be okay, beautiful. All right, symbol XSP, the mini S&P 500, cash settled, no early assignments. Moving average is going to be the three. Wait, no, shit, bro. No, this I could tell you didn't read it. No, you didn't read the entire files. You just read the first few lines. Need you to go through all of the versions and make sure you properly understand it using grep and awk. Because it's tripping. These are like our beginning parameters, bro. Like I know, especially this 3 and 8. I was like, bro, I know you didn't read. I know you didn't read. So okay, now it's reading 2022 validation. Okay, now you're reading. I gotta just write this for shits and giggles, fam. What's the final step? Just so I can make sure it ain't bullshit me. What's the final step? Oh shit, my fault, my fault, my fault. Damn it. What the heck? Why the heck? How the heck? Hold on. This thing is weird. All right, fam. I don't know how the fuck. This thing was just like hiding in between screens. Sorry. We have 45. All right, just to make sure. Like you ain't bullshitting me. just to make sure. All right, here we go. All right, full mixtape summary. Mini S&P 500. So now I know it red. We're using the 2 and the 12. The 10 bar gap creates momentum filter. The MA separation must be greater than or equal to 0.28, filters weak signals. The super trend is zero point 0.3 in a period of 3, must confirm direction. Regime filter only trade strong trends. Oh, that is on, huh? That's fine. Skip week. All must agree. So here's our parameters, our conditional logic. Trade 1, unlock trade 2, scan for new signal. If lose trade 1, we're done for the day. The multi-year validation, we in a bear year, right? 182 trades, 82% win rate, 10.9% drawdown, only one stop loss, and a trendy year in a recovery. This is recovery year. This is a bull year. 160 trades, 81%, 6.6. 2024, 125 trades, 87.2, 5.7, no stop losses. Key innovations is that the moving average separation filter removed 133 bad trades, mostly time stop losses. The regime filter, only strong trades skip the choppy market. The second conditional trades double down on winning days and protect on losing days. The severity system, we're not using that. I'll explain why that doesn't work. The 10 bar gap is the sustained momentum, not just random wiggles. The super trend confirmation is the trend bias. The conditional second trade is the neutral trade day quality. Okay, across 3 years, production ready, 82 to 87% ready to build the trade year bot. All right, so what I'm about to do here is completely optional, right? I could just start building a bot here, but I want to add a little bit more personality to it, right? For lack of better words. So you see how our bots have different sets of emojis and personality, if you would. We need to think of one for this bot. We don't want it to be corny or lame or trying too hard, right? Now that you get the bot, provide 3 options and the emojis, etc., so we can pick one before we proceed. Beautiful. So when I say think, okay, this is what happens. DJ theme music, professional sniper theme, momentum wave. These are lame. DJ mixtape. DJ only select drops bangers, skips weak tracks. Okay, this is interesting. I kind of don't. Which one feels right? Okay. Review using grep and awk. Then go find a few of the other tradier bots for more context. Then give us better options. Beautiful. And again, what I'm doing, completely optional, not needed. I'm just being extra. If I can do it, let's do it. If I can do it, why not? You feel me? And if y'all do have any questions while I am working through this, please don't be afraid to ask. We have diligently been working on this for quite some time. So it is super dope that we're at a point where we're damn near done with the strategy, right? Okay, here we go. Which one hits, bitch? What? Option one, the mixtape, the remix. Um, Vibe samples the best moves and drops noise. Tagline 0 DTE. Amy a crossover, skips filter, plays the hits. Drop the needle. Y'all really just going OD on this. Director's cut, side B. All right, this one is really going. Um, hmm. I don't know. Don't know. These don't feel right. We want more of an underground artist vibe feel to it for this bot. An up and coming star, if you would. An up and coming. All right, again, what I'm doing completely optional. Unsigned, the leak, the come up, scrap, the basement tapes, the leak, unreleased heat. Only the real ones got the link. No label, no cosign, just results. I don't know. Let's do the leak. I'm fine with the leak. Let's do the leak, but we want it spelled unconventionally and lay out how it'll look before we proceed with creating the bot. All right, we're almost there. Recording in the basement, raw talent, no label yet. I love it. I love those vibes, man. This is low key in the basement. We in the basement. All right. The mixtape, the leak. They sleep, we eat type shit. Mixtape, they sleep, we eat, the leak. Um, all right. Bet. Um, bet. We also want leak spelled different as well. Other than that, let's get this on the road. Let's make sure that we are checking our work after each step and ensure that we are shipping grade A plus quant level code, fam. Um, what am I going to say? Update the change log when you're done, and update the change log when you're done. All right, beautiful. So that's going to run. We're going to have another bot soon, ladies and gentlemen. Another bot is going to be ready. I'm going to say, update the change. The leak. Y'all see it? Oh, damn. I really wanted you to do it in there, but all right, this is what I'm going to do. Boom. And then I can delete you. Oh, where are you? Oh, mixtape config. The mixtape. V2 production, beautiful paper. All right. I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. They sleep. What we do, we eat. Let's go look at our position file. The leak track individual positions with multi-level TP exit. Position tracker. Beautiful. Checks all conditions and returns the exit rule. It check if the triggered not okay. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, bet. We're running, man. We're running. Now we got the hybrid tracker. Tracks the bot separately from the broker, works with Tradier, not against it for validation. Takes the broker snapshot. Okay. Beautiful. Gets the current broker stats. Recurred. Okay. Beautiful. Validate. Volt matches the Tradier. Reconciliation. Gets examples. Beautiful. All right. So the bot has his ledger. You know what I need to do? Let me just go ahead and open up a terminal so we can test our bot. Afterwards, I need to go get a conda environment. Let me go grab that real quick. All right, so how do you know we're in our conda environment? You see here it says base, here it says option baby. That's how I know it's active. Now let me go, what I forgot to do is, let's go ahead and install. Let's also check theta data to make sure we're Gucci. All right, beautiful. We're Gucci. Now it's creating the mixtape bot. Mixtape. Now we just hit Python, mixtape. Once it's ready, I'm just going to hit enter. All right, Gucci. Not gonna hold you. There's a couple other bots that I need to add or create as well, but I'm waiting for Thinkorswim. Once I get Thinkorswim up and running, then I'll create those bots. But for right now, I'm just going to stick with Tradier, Alpaca, IBKR sparingly. All right, beautiful. Let's go run our bot. Oh, why did it spaz? Why did it spaz? We run it back tomorrow. Why did it spaz? Why did it spaz? Let's figure that out. Hold on. Hold on. It doesn't. Hold on. Before review and make sure it is good. And here is the change log. All right. We should. Oh, wait. What the fuck? Oh, but it resets tomorrow. Yeah, but it resets tomorrow, so I'm Gucci. Kind of been going hard this week anyway, but it resets tomorrow, so I won't got to worry about that. I've been using Opius a lot. Remember that model goes hard. Bot ran successfully. The output looks clean. Let me verify. Okay. The leak is alive. Why does it stop? Okay, let me check something. Okay. All right. Quick question. Why does the bot stop um without us either control C or killing the command the operation? It starts, then auto exits. Why? The auto exit is because the logic of the trading loop, since it's 7:37, the session ended at 11:38, the bot sees session end, it breaks out of the loop immediately. The correct behavior for live trading is that you don't want it to run outside of the option. We have two. No. Add a flag so you can no. Nah, it's Gucci, man. It's Gucci. Um, we would rather it be idle and knowing it is not in a trading session, and then let us know when the next one is so we can maintain proper UI, right, rather than just exiting. Double check how we do this before implementing inside the bot. Beautiful. So I just got like two more steps to do. Check if the market is open. If not, waiting for it open, sleep, don't exit. Check if entry. If not, log outside window, waiting for don't exit. Use heartbeat to avoid spamming. Only update every 5 minutes. Never auto exit. Keep waiting and return. Yeah, because the auto exit I feel like is just abrupt. Man, I get it, but I would rather. This is what happened. You feel me? Okay, session. Waiting for the next session. Session time. All right, bet. Next session tomorrow at 9:33. Now let me check on my end. Let's check on our end that we're Gucci. Bet. That's what I wanted to see. So we have another bot, ladies and gentlemen. Mixtape. We have a 0 DTE mini spy scrapper. MA crossover plus super trend. The league, they sleep. What we do, we eat. Okay. Max trades. Snapshot. So now beautiful. So it exits. All right, bet, man. Let's update with the new bot. Don't forget the stats and ensure properly updated with bot information. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, we have finished. We have created another bot. This bot is going to be ready to go for tomorrow's session. What I'm finishing up is just some admin work. So Mixtape bot is going to be ready to go. So I need you all to tune in to tomorrow's paper trading session so you can see how this bot performs. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It is your boy Creative. We'll be back at it again with another episode.